In recent years, there's been many debates that have captured the modern comic reading audience. Will Neil Gaiman ever finish his run on Miracle Man? Is it pronounced Mark Miller, or was I right that time when I called him Mark Millar? Why was John Romita Jr. better at art when he was drawing about 600 titles a month, in comparison to today? And the mystery that we'll be looking at today that at least 3 people have asked about: what is the difference between the new Captain Britain Omnibus and the old one, and what in the hell is that book from Panini? Woof woof! Hey guys, it's me Marcus, aka the Mad Dog, and we're back with another video. Now, as you probably know, the Captain Britain Omnibus has been released this month, but not only is it a reprint, but it's an expanded edition of a book that's been out of print for nearly 10 years. And I know that this was a whale for a lot of people, but it might be the case that you might be able to find a cheap version of that original copy, or maybe you've got that original copy and you're wondering if you should upgrade. So firstly, I'm going to talk about what's contained in the new Omnibus, which is due to be released on March 22nd. And I say that without a lot of confidence because of the fact that this was originally supposed to come out in October of last year. But you know, a delay is better than a cancellation, so I'm not going to question it. The scheduled retail price is $125 and it contains a lot more material than what was in the original. So it collects the 1976 Captain Britain series issues 1 to 39, Super Spider-Man and Captain Britain issues 231 to 247, Hulk Comic issue 1 and 33 to 46, but don't ask about issue 2, Incredible Hulk Weekly 47 to 55 and also 57 to 63, Marvel Superheroes issues 377 to 388, the 11 issues of Daredevils, The Mighty World of Marvel issues 7 to 16, the 1985 Captain Britain series issues 1 to 14, and also Marvel Tales issues 131 to 133. You've also got Marvel Team Up issues 65 and 66, New Mutants Annual issue 2, and also X-Men Annual issue 11. Now, to clear any possible confusion, the reason why it sounds like there's so many issues is because a lot of these appearances were actually backup features. So it's not a full 22-page issue, especially those Hulk comics, it's probably just a couple of pages. But regardless, this is still a very whammy boy, and it's the most comprehensive Captain Britain Omnibus that we could imagine at this point. Unless it included something like the criminally underrated Captain Britain and MI13 season, but you know, we can't have everything. As well, the reason why there are so many issues is because of the struggles that Captain Britain had to rise to popularity when he was first created. If you'd like to know a little bit more about this story, I've already done a video on who is Captain Britain, and I definitely recommend checking it out. But in case you're wondering what was contained in this original omnibus that was first released, which was released in July of 2009, and it was retailing for $99.99. You've got Marvel Superheroes issues 377 to 388, all 11 issues of Daredevil, Captain America issue 305 to 306, which seems to be the only thing that's missing in the solicitation for the new omnibus, Mighty World of Marvel issues 7 to 16, Captain Britain issues 1 to 14, New Mutants Annual 2, and also the Uncanny X-Men Annual issue 11. Now, the majority of that omnibus was centered around the original writer. That was what the omnibus was based on, whereas the new omnibus is more just about being about Captain Britain and not just about the original writer. However, if you do want to pick up the expanded omnibus, you can already pre-order it from the channel sponsor, Organic Price Books. They've got great packaging, fast shipping, and amazing customer services, and if you use code WOOFWOOF, you'll get $2 off your order. And if you're ordering 3 or more books and you want them to be delivered together, make sure you use code WOOFWOOF, ship it together for 5% off your entire order. Don't worry, you can just copy and paste them from the description down below, and you can use these codes as many times as you like. But if you do have this original omnibus, you're probably wondering what you're double dipping on, and it's pretty much the majority of the last half of the new book. Everything that's been added to the new omnibus is pretty much stuff that was done before the original writer onto the title. You had the foundations of this character when he was created by Chris Claremont, and you also had the work that was done by Jamie Delano, some of which is also contained in this book, but there's just so much else that's been added to it. Honestly, I'd like you to watch the rest of this video just for the retention and so that I can hopefully get a couple of quid from this, but it should be pretty obvious that I'm going to recommend just buying the new book. But for the 3 or so people watching this that already have the original and you're wondering if there's other places that you can collect those missing issues, there are a few options that are available. Now, fair warning, I'm not going to say that these are easy options or ones that I'd recommend, but I'd like you to have a comprehensive answer. There were 2 Captain Britain hardcovers that were released. Volume 1 was called Birth of a Legend, and Volume 2 was called The Siege of Camelot. Both are extremely out of print, and you might end up paying more for those 2 books alone than it would if you just got the expanded omnibus. But if you did want to hold on to your original and still have those missing issues, this will catch you up pretty much, and it's got the majority of those issues that we spoke about that aren't contained in the original. And also, you'll get those 2 issues of Captain America that aren't included in the new solicitation, and honestly don't really make that much of a difference. But those two oversized hardcovers along with this omnibus would pretty much give you everything that's in the expanded book. But one option that I think a lot of people, especially outside of the UK, might not be aware of is that there was a series of 6 trade paperbacks that collects pretty much everything that's included in the expanded omnibus. They did only seem to be available in the UK because they were released by a company called Panini, and in case anybody's wondering, that is a publisher that seems to reprint all kinds of Marvel and DC books, but not as well. But it does mean that people in the UK and Europe have an easier access to them. And if there's one superhero that it feels like the UK should have access to, it's definitely going to be Captain Britain. And for anybody outside of Europe that might not have them, a panini is also a crap cross between some kind of sandwich and a baguette, but it's not as nice as either of those. But my mum likes them, so I kind of have to give them a bit of a pass. Now that option is also the only way that you can really collect Captain Britain in paperback format. But that comes with its own bit of bad news because of the fact that some of these volumes are really difficult to get, even over here in the UK. Volumes 2, 3, 4, and I haven't even seen volume 6 in a long time, just don't seem to be available on Amazon. Yeah, sure, you can get volume 1, maybe trial it out for a bit of a cheaper price and see if you do like this character, and then maybe get the omnibus. But until there's some kind of announcement of some kind of Captain Britain epic collections, which I haven't heard about, and I don't really know if that's something that Marvel would pursue in doing, it's kind of slim pickings if you want this content in paperback format. But some of you might be aware of the other Captain Britain omnibus. I know a few people that accidentally picked this up because they thought it was the reprint from Marvel directly, and it's got a cover price of £65, so on the surface it does sound like this would be a better option. But again, this was specifically printed by Panini, and I don't believe that this was oversized. But it is definitely an option, so I'm just going to read through the contents with you here. We've got Marvel Superheroes issues 377 to 388, Daredevil's issues 1 to 11, Mighty World of Marvel's issues 7 to 16, Captain Britain issues 1 to 30. Wait, this is the same as the original Captain Britain omnibus. Yeah, so basically if you want this book but much cheaper and in a smaller format, then you can get this from the Panini version of the omnibus. And yes, it might seem like I'm ragging on it and really pushing you towards getting the expanded edition, but I do think that there is some validity to this new book. Now, it very well might be the case that you might be able to get a cheaper copy of the original omnibus because of the fact that people are selling it to upgrade to the expanded edition. If you do just want a Marvel omnibus copy of the original writer, what is going on with that? And you're not really too bothered about the origin story of Captain Britain and you just want to get into the main bulk of the best part of this story, then that is something that you can do. However, if you're in the UK or Europe and that's a situation that you're in, I would definitely recommend looking at the Panini omnibus. Even though it might look out of place on your shelf and you might treat it like the stepchild that you never really wanted, it still has its merits if you want a cheaper and more accessible version of the book that's over here. However, when I've done these double dip or skip videos before, I've always tried to not give a personal opinion and say what I feel is going to be the best option for you. But in this one, I think the only real option if you want the best version of the Captain Britain story is to pick up the new expanded omnibus. It's a lot more comprehensive, it's going to be easily accessible, and I think it's actually better value for money than the Panini book. Mostly because of the fact that yes, it is oversized, and if you pick up one of these from a WH Smith, and if you're in the UK you know what I'm talking about, you will know that those books just get beaten up. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have safe and healthy books that are going to stand the test of time. In saying that, I don't know what the binding's like on the expanded omnibus, so really don't quote me on that one. I'm definitely going to be upgrading. No, I'm not going to sell this because of the fact that I just really like that cover, and it's got a lot of sentimental value to me, and that's probably an option that I should have listed when I just did that. But I do think this is a great book that a lot of people would enjoy if they decide to pick it up. But I guess that's the video. I just wanted to do a quick one for you today in case it was that you're confused with all these editions or if it's worth picking up the new book or sticking with the old one. Share this video where you can. I think there's only a couple of people that this would help, and I'd hope that this could reach them. But until next time, whenever that may be, just make sure that you stay safe and stay mad, all you dogs. Woof woof! See you at the next video.